I think it's time, I know probably sounds radical, but I think it's time that a real black coalition gets together and tries to vie for a viable third party.
Mm,
Because that's the only way to rock the system. Because right now, as long as the system is status quo, Republican, Democrat, and they know Democrats for sure need the black vote to win. Like the Republicans don't because they got the white majority.
mhm,
So all they have to do is have enough of us not show up, which is what we
mhm,
saw in,
mhm,
the Kamala Harris election. Like it wasn't that Trump won by this great margin. It was that a lot of Democrats didn't vote for her. Like Democrats
mhm,
didn't vote at all. Not just didn't vote for her, they just didn't vote at all. And we know that historically, low voter turnout for Democrats always means a Republican win. But
mm.
high voter turnout usually means a Democrat win. It's just historically how, the numbers bear out. So what do we do? I think we have to shake up the status quo at this point. I think we have to try to get enough of a black coalition to come from under because okay, you might lose an election or two, but it also will one, either we will make a viable third party, or two, it will make the Democrats value our vote the way they're supposed to,
Mhm.
so they can start being more progressive for us
Mhm.
in terms of policy.
Right. I think the that's an excellent idea in terms of what, but not, but in addition to that, what does a third political party, what does it look like? There are so many ideas that I have going on in my head because it cannot be like these bipartisan things. It can't be like the independent party or the green party or the this party.
No.
There are
Mm-mm.
so many factors I think we have to roll in if there are like diehard Democrats, diehard, Republicans. We have to factor in how do we bring those folk in. But I think part of whatever political party we have to have a block or something that caters to those who cannot vote, who are disenfranchised,
Yeah.
from voting, so felons or things like that, or even if you want to bring in like immigrants who are not, citizens yet and cannot vote, but we have to have, because, and then also understand that a political party doesn't always mean voting. Political
Yeah.
party is like also involves a lot of, I would say, movement work. So not only you're changing policies and you're changing legislation, but you're also changing, I think, the like climate or the whole environment of where it is that you are, and that takes more than just going and checking a ballot box. And I think we've moved away from that one.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I think, in order, how you said, how do we bring in those other factions? I think you have a lot, especially polling shows right now. You have a lot of disenfranchised Democrats who are not happy with the party, but they also don't want to be Republican. They
Mhm.
also don't want to be, conservative. You have a lot of independents who voted for Trump this time and then voted for Kamala last time, who are disenfranchised, who don't have feel like they don't have a home, feel like the liberals have gone too far on some of their moral policies, and they feel like, they still don't want to be MAGA. So there's a huge faction of people that can be a big voting bloc that can hurt both parties if they don't have us. It'll hurt the Republicans if they don't get those independents back. It'll hurt the Democrats if they don't get those conservative, more moderate
Mm.
Democrats back because they lost a lot of moderate Democrats. And I mean, even some of the more liberal Democrats who are like, yeah, I'm very liberal, but I also don't think kids should be able to take hormone replacements in elementary without telling their parents. That's a bridge too far. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Stuff
Mhm.
like that. So I think if you could bring those factions together, and again, if not to do more anything to then to disrupt, like how you said, it's not just about voting. Sometimes it's about disruption, and
Mhm.
I think you need to figure out a way to disrupt, because
Mhm.
if you can disrupt, then your voice can be heard. Because if the
Mhm.
if the Democrats really feel a threat of losing the black voting bloc, they gonna have to move, or we like really, make a viable third party that's for us.
I think honestly, I think for me, what you're saying is really good. I think there are even not I think there already are signs showing that there are people who really just don't who don't care about the black vote,
Yeah,
point blank, period.
yeah,
Um, So I mean that's a whole other, I think, part of why it is we have to move. And I don't know if the word is I don't like the word we need to educate, because I think how it has been used in the past creates this power dynamic of I am the sage on the stage and I'm the all knower, and here you are, you dumbass. I'm about to
Right.
show you, whatever it is. But in some way, kind of break down the idea that disrupting can be more powerful than maybe even putting the candidate in place of choice.
That's what I mean.
Because
Right.
you
Right.
put people on notice. If you put people on notice, they're going to have to make sure that they accommodate you, because they know that they may be a one term candidate, and that's something I think that we've lost, because people on this. It's only been, what is this, since like 1968? Then there's been a mandate. Well, now it's being eroded in terms of voting. So like what?
Yeah.
So what did black people do before, when all black people couldn't get to the ballot box? There were definitely things that were done in order to be, effective. So like, just to get out this idea that voting is the end all be all. It's
Be all.
very
Yeah.
important. Now, mind you, it's very important for a whole bunch of reasons. Voting is important. To me, kind of like the low level of voting is it gets you involved and engaged in understanding policy and legislation, and those who are supposed to be representing you at the very least, even
Yeah.
if, and that's, it might sound, to some people corny or mundane or irrelevant to the everyday life, but just knowing and having an awareness is really important, because something's going to hit you on the everyday, and you're going to be like, okay,
Right.
what is
Right.
okay, we're gonna have to bring this to a council meeting, to a congressional office, whatever it is, eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So we're going to talk about this third party, what it looks like, but we can't tell everybody, Dame, because the watchers are watching.
Yep. Exactly.